Nutrigrain Ironman Series. But first, before we crown ourselves a winner here in round 3 at Fingal Bay, we're going to have to get 13, yes, 13, Jack, through to our final. 8 already there. We'll get 13 from this one, and we'll have a 21-person final. And a lot of names in this, Jack, that should already be there, but they haven't had the greatest of heats or the greatest of repecharges, and they're going to have to do a third time, so a long road to our final.
Well, the surf and the tricky conditions perhaps make it better to go through 1 or 2 extra rounds rather than going into that final fresh. Some people believe, Josh, that fresh is best.
They do, they definitely do. It's a quality field here, but 13 spots, so maybe not as frantic as we're used to seeing, but complacency may not be the best. Bevilacqua, no problems with his start this round. He's already had a win. He'll be looking for another one here, and very, very even across the field at the moment. Tannen Linden sitting high on top, and wouldn't it be something if our series leader couldn't get through to the final, but he's been consistent. Look at the boys rev up. Cam Cole in 25, former Australian Ironman champion. Bevilacqua in 2. Jay Finesse off. Jay Finesse is off. We saw the girls in their repecharge go off. Matt Bevilacqua, zero drama at all, while the rest of the field struggling just a little bit at the moment. This Fingal Bay break is very, very tough.
Well, Josh, that shows how quality this ski field is. Jay Finesse is our 2-time and current Summer of Surf champion. He is at the back of this field struggling in the break.
Well, it could all come undone right here, right now for a couple of these guys. And have a look, it's a big field, a lot of skis to go around if you're at the back, and you'll have plenty of work to do. Finesse doing his best to try and work his way back through at the moment, but no dramas on the front for Bevilacqua as we go up over one of the big swells, and things are starting to lift at the moment. Bevilacqua looks very, very relaxed, gets his way around the big obstacle, the Aussie bodies turning can on the outside. Tannen Linden's done a great job on the inside. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear, and he's got himself into the top 2, and a few of the boys have gone very, very wide around that can, so not the best course management. Corey Hill's going backwards. James Lacey's in there. Looks like maybe Luke Cuff as well. Cooper Williams from Noosa on the outside as Bevilacqua looks around, and he's looking very, very relaxed.
We see those boys struggling at the back to get themselves around that big Aussie bodies turning can. Well, Bevilacqua's on his way home and running the ocean at a rate of knots. Have a look at him pull down this one, Josh. The gap is blown wide open.
Well, that's the wave you want, and this is a little bit bigger for the rest of the field. It might cause a little bit more drama. Kendrick Louis has had a bit of trouble so far. Missed one final, but he's back in the repecharge here. Out the back, they've got waves, so 1 on the first, maybe 6 on the second. Jackson Maynard there on the third. You don't want to be doing that. He's all the way back. TJ Hendy, he struggles a little bit with the white water, but has no dramas, and the gap closes on Bevilacqua. So we're chasing 13 at this point as the boys, Jay Finesse, he's made his way back into this one, got a wave, pushes hard on the pedals there, and you don't get a better shot at the moment. Costello's there from Redhead as well. Oh, this is drama. One of the boys is riding the bucking Bronco home.
Well, Nathan Gray wearing Cooper Williams' ski there, and the inexperience of Williams probably put him in a little bit of difficulty in this surf.
He's a great young Ironman, but sometimes you can't beat experience. As the rest of the field goes in, Bevilacqua's lead has been cut to ribbons. He was a mile out in front, now he's back in the pack and fighting it out with Tannen Linden and Simon Murfitt from Mermaid Beach.
Well, it's a group of 8, Josh, that we have broken away at this stage and making their way out through the Fingal Bay break. Tannen Linden is making the best of it at this stage. Isaac Costello's there chasing as well. So these boys, you know they're very good. They've been thereabouts in the first few rounds, and the chase pack is starting to work up as well.
And they've got no dramas. Top 8, all good. You're through to the final. It's the next pack as a wave comes through and they get the revolutions up. Try and get under it. Oh, Costello cops a beating. Kendrick Louis does too. He's forced to roll underneath that one, and that's not what you want. Costello's board's gone. He's swimming for it. Oh, no. Get there, Isaac. Oh, no. The board, it's gone in. He'll be filthy on himself, and one of the guys who was sitting up the front, well, and I think someone stopped it for him there or worn it on their head. Maybe that is Will Budd, but it's brought the rest of the field back into it here, and Costello's board, oh no, that's going all the way back to the beach as Cooper Williams has had a bit of drama of his own, is forced to go around it. TJ Hendy has little trouble going through, and this is how quickly these conditions can change. Costello, he was straight through. He had no dramas, relaxed for just a second. The Fingal Bay break can be so fickle. Landed on top of him. His board's on the beach, and his day's almost certainly over.
We'll expect Will Budd to start to put a hole in that gap, Josh. Although he's still making his way through the break, he's been one of the best board paddlers we've seen the last 2 seasons, and he'll certainly try and stand up here to pull that gap back.
Oh, and he loves it when things get tough as well, and they're getting a little bit tough on the front. Bevilacqua very fired up for a repechage race at the moment. He's got a big gap. There's 4 there, 2 around the cans, another 2, 4, 6 a little bit further back. So that's your top 10, 11. Further back, 12, 13, and that's where the real race is, down at 12, 13, 14. That's the red zone. You don't want to be in it. Kendrick Louis starting to build through his summer as Matt Bevilacqua is starting to build through his race.
Well, Louis back in about 5th place at this stage, but the wave's starting to build, and Bevilacqua patiently sits and waits. He knows if he puts himself in the right position and not underneath this one, he'll hold it through to the beach.
No dramas at all. The skills from the boys. Lyndon's on there as well. Simon Murfitt, it looks like he has picked that runner-up and is on the front as we see our back markers coming through. Justin McMullen and Kendrick Louis, they are in 5 and 6, and Louis just rests up. Have a little smile, happy to get one. There's a massive gap back, so maybe half our field sorted heading into the final leg, and the leaders, no problems at all as they make their way into the beach.
Well, Josh, with 13 through, there's still plenty of positions available. Cam Cole's looking for one of those. Jackson Maynard, another one, who we know will finish extremely strong in that swim leg with that swim leg last.
TJ Hendy as well. So if you like Cam Cole, TJ Hendy, probably not the strongest swimmers going around. You're going to want to jump on Jackson Maynard, let him drag you through, drag you all the way up and around. And you can't win the Summer of Surf Round 3 title here, but you can certainly lose it, and you cannot get yourself into the final, that's for sure. So that's your top 6, 5 and 6 in and away. They'll look to close the gap very quickly. And 7, 8 and 9 just making their way through transition now. So it is Maynard, Hendy, Cam Cole. This will be his weakest leg. He'll have to hold on. So that's 7, 8, 9. Here's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 at the moment. This is where things start to get interesting. Corey Taylor's there. Jay Finesse is there, so you'd expect better from him. Corey Taylor finished 3rd at the World Championship. Have a look at Grego from Surfers Paradise. He has flown out and around. Will Budd's got plenty of work to do after that board. He tried to get through the field, couldn't do it. And these boys, if they want to get in the final, it's a real dogfight here.
Well, Hamish Chapman's there as well. He was a surf race winner in our earlier round at Alexandra Headlands, and he is one that's chasing with Jay Finesse. We know these boys can swim, so watch for them to really make a move in this final leg.
If he can swim like he did in that opening round, he will certainly get through, but I don't know if the rest of the field's just going to let them swim away as Tannen Linden's doing. He's gone to the front, and hasn't been a turnaround for him in the last couple of weeks. Finished the Coolangatta Gold, and I think he'd be okay in me saying it, a walking zombie. He was spent, didn't know where he was or what he was doing, but he's bounced back. He's had 2 incredible podium finishes, 2 great performances, and he's at the top of this race and really flying along at the moment. And so's Cody Innes. Where's he come from? He's been a bit under the radar so far, swum himself into this race, and he looks like he's going to swim himself into this final from Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park.
Well, the Burleigh boys are on fire, and Cody Innes is going along with the likes of Tannen Linden and Ben Carberry leading the way. These younger guys start to jump on. They learn from the boys that are training. They see what they're doing day in, day out, and they start to want it. They start to race harder. They start to find what they need and get that confidence to mix it with these top guns.
And just as we said, Jackson Maynard dragging TJ Hendy and Cam Cole around. Those two will owe him a beer if they get through, that's for sure, because he's doing a lot of the work here, and they'll be desperate to hang on for as long as possible, maybe even get a wave on the way home and hang in there. And Tannen Linden leads around on the front of the field here. It's been a long, hard race so far, and this is just the repechage, Jack. The guys are going to have to bounce back later on for this final if they get through, but I've got a feeling this race isn't over yet. Our 13 isn't decided.
Well, our front boys aren't resting on their laurels, Josh. They had a good gap, but they know in this surf anything can happen. The back markers can come through. We saw Danielle McKenzie miss out in the repechage with a mistake ducking under a wave. Don't expect to see the boys do that, but if a wave comes through, if they get nothing into the wave zone and the back markers pick one up, it's game on.
Well, it is on the front. Linden, then Bevilacqua, Louis, Innes as well, trying very, very hard. That's your top 4 pushing home. Is Murfitt in 5. He's in a bit of no man's land, and Justin McMullen has faded badly, but still in 6 as Jackson Maynard swims up on him in 7. TJ Hendy in 8, and Cam Cole well from Alexandra Headland has just turned the can in 9. So that's your 9. The next 4 will get through. They're spread long and far around the course, but this race is going to get super interesting. And the guys at the front become a little less interesting here because they're just trying to get through.
Well, the walls are starting to stand up for these boys, and as they make their way into the wave zone, this is what can really mix it up. A slight mistake in here, we spoke about it earlier, can change your race. Josh, you can be racing for 13, 14, 15 and missing out on that final.
If you're Kendrick Louis, if you're Matt Bevilacqua and Tannen Linden, you're fit enough to get the job done in 2 Ironmans in a row, and these boys will have no problems at all, especially when they pick up a wave. So they've done maybe 5 or 6 Ironmans in one training session before, so doing a couple across one round should be no issue. And have a look at the body surfing skills. They'll work this one all the way into the gutter, and who can hold on? It's World Championship body surfing here. First one's off Innes, the least experienced. The second one off maybe Linden there, and Kendrick Louis holds on the longest over the top of Bevilacqua. Back onto the next wave, we've got 3, maybe a 4th coming to join him as well, so this is where it's at. Louis up in first. He'll win the repechage, work his way through to his first Summer of Surf final for the season. Bevilacqua's been in a few, so's Tannen Linden. Kendrick Louis, ominous signs here, a very strong performance.
Well, he's looking extremely good, Josh, and he just did what he had to do to get through the final. The boys know in the repechage, there's guys watching who are resting up, they're getting themselves ready for the final. These boys want to do what they've got to do, but not overdo it.
So we've got 4 across. Here's 5, 6, 7. Murphy in 5. It's Maynard in 6. TJ Handy in 7, who is up and around as well. So Cam Cole's not there. He's faded. We've got 5 across the line, 6 across the line, 7 across the line. McMorland, he is in 8, 9 and 10. Oh, what about Chapman? Big swim from him. Cam Cole. Corey Taylor's there. They're a bit further back. Corey Taylor crosses the line. Jay Finesse has come from the clouds. Nathan Gray's in as well. And Cam Cole will get there only just but by the skin of his teeth. What about that performance from the former Australian Ironman champion? He'll be through to another Summer of Surf final. They are our qualifiers, a lot of them through. They're probably not used to having 13 go through to the next round. Well, we have our 21 finalists here to battle it out for round 3 of the Summer of Surf at Fingal Bay, and we will crown ourselves a winner in just a moment's time.
It's always great fun when there's waves, and this past week, or pretty much since they announced that we're racing at Fingal Bay, it's not renowned for having waves. On the beach today, I heard one bloke say we probably get waves 4 times a year. So to turn up here today for round 3, it's just so many happy faces on the beach, and everyone just loves racing in surf. So whether the result's good or bad, I think everyone's just happy to be out there racing. Every round so far has just been so cutthroat. You've got the 2 guys that go direct through to the final, and both rounds, all 3 rounds now, I haven't been in that top 2, so I can't wait to feel what that feels like. But it's just good to get some racing under the belt before Christmas, and really try and back end the season, especially the Summer of Surf season as well. In conditions like this, anything can happen. So I saw in the repechage round before ours, it was just one of the boys was leading and end up missing out completely. So it's pack your stuff and go home. And at the end of the day, that's the harsh reality of it. But that's why we keep coming back, because it's just anything can happen. After the Coolangatta Gold, I've really been trying to focus on short racing and really have fun with it. And over the past couple of years, I've sort of lost that bit of spark, and I think moving to Manly now and training with a really good bunch of guys down there, and really trying to help grow that club too, and it's just brought back a new excitement for me, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you see me smiling across the beach a bit more, that's why.